What's up everybody, Scott Goshorn with Rodeo Realty, and today we are doing cost of living in 90210 Beverly Hills. All right, sip of coffee first. Gotta have the energy. So, the cost of living in Beverly Hills is not cheap. It is, 90210 is one of the best zip codes in the world, and for that, you're gonna have to pay, right? So let's talk about the cost of living. The average price for a single family home in Beverly Hills is $7 million. Now, you're in different zip codes, 90212, 90211. You can pick up a home in the low twos, right? However, you're in Truesdale, the flats, bigger lots, view properties, some properties sell north of 60, 80 million. But the average in all of 90210 is $7 million for a single family house. So you better have your piggy bank saved up if you want to get in. Again, some people start, in the lower levels, 200, 300 blocks to get in, a couple $1 million, and they keep rolling uphill, get to the flats, 500, 600, 700 blocks, and then, keep rolling uphill every 3-5 years. You're gonna be in good shape because the appreciation here is pretty amazing. All right, the average price for a condo in Beverly Hills. The average price for a condo is around 1.1, 1.2 million. Now they've got some range, but this area, as far as West Hollywood, Century City, the other places have, much bigger numbers on condos. Condos here, not too many high rises. So you're looking at just a lower price for the condos. You're looking 1.1, 1.2. Of course, they do range higher, but this is talking the average price, right? All right, so let's talk leases. The average lease price in, this is condos and homes combined, is around $11,000 for Beverly Hills. So, home rentals though, if you're looking for home rentals, you're probably looking $15,000, $20,000, which again, you see the house, it's gonna get you a little bit, but not exactly probably what you think if you're gonna be paying that much for a house. But they're generally averaging, $40,000, $50,000 for the nicer homes. And some go for $100,000, $150,000 for a month. If you're looking to lease out a condo, $5,000, $7,000, you can get the price number 4, but usually $5,000, $7,000 range for condo, but the average medium is $11,000 for a house and a condo in Los Angeles. So let's talk about some other stats. The cost of living and buying a home in 90210 compared to the rest of the universe, we're looking at about a 533% higher average buying a home in Beverly Hills than anywhere else, especially in the United States. I'll give you an example. So I've got a Victorian home. A couple years ago, I grew up in a small town in Chillicothe, Ohio. I bought a beautiful Victorian home and I remodeled it. I grew up next door to this house. I knew the owners. They passed. It was in a trust. I wanted to bring it back to life. It's around 4,000 square feet. Original floors. I bought it for $89,000. I put like 70 into it. We just did a lot of refinishing, and I put it on the market and sold it for $220,000. Now, if I picked up that house and brought it into Beverly Hills, all day long I would get $5 million, without question. Beautiful house. That's just giving you an example of what it costs, to buy a house in Beverly Hills compared to other cities in the United States. Even locally, what you're paying for like a $2.5 million house in 90212 or 90211 compared to, let's say you go to Mar Vista or West LA or in Brentwood, it's just different. You're not getting the same house that you would think you're getting. I'm not saying they're bad houses, but the bang for buck, in other cities around LA is just different. But there's a reason for that. Getting into this zip code, there's a lot of great schools and just, the great appreciation. When we hit the market in 2008, had a big crash, the market took a dive. Beverly Hills is only affected about 10%. Maybe 7 to 10% as far as getting stung. Many people, you look at Florida, for example, a lot of houses in Miami, nice parts got destroyed, right? Depreciation, not as much. So you're not gonna get that. You're gonna get a nice steady increase of appreciation living in this zip code. Let's talk about some other items you're living in here. So you buy a house, you wanna live, well, what's it cost for groceries? The average grocery cost compared to the rest of the United States, it's about 12% increase. Nothing too crazy, but it's a little more expensive. Average, you want to buy a latte here in Beverly Hills as opposed to somewhere else, you're looking about $5 for a latte, which is not too bad. Anywhere else around LA, it's about the same price, right? Let's talk about dinner for two. So when you take your babe out for dinner, your dude, whoever it is, nice dinner for two. Not talking, just a good Beverly Hills restaurant. Get some drinks, steak, fish, something like that. You're probably around $250. It's not cheap, but there's a lot of good food, high quality beef and stuff, or whatever you're getting. You're just gonna pay more. You want a nice martini? you know, nice martini, a little shaken, not stirred, you're probably looking around 15, 20 bucks for a martini. Now, the best value though in Beverly Hills, you go to Mastro's, one of the best martinis in town, because they give you the whole mixer. You know that, you know, they're shaking up in the whole martini mixer. They drop that thing next to you. It might cost you 30 bucks, but you're getting a couple martinis out of it. It's damn good. Healthcare, you know, healthcare is actually a little lower. It's probably the same on average, but it's a little lower here in Beverly Hills. It's down, compared to a national average, it's down 1.2% as opposed to national average. And I just think that's because most people around here, just LA in general, and this coast is just healthier. You know, I'm from Ohio, different, man. Everything out here is organic, grass, you know, just more conscious. So I think it's just more conscious, healthier people, and I think that could be the reason for that. So we also want to talk about energy. You know, gas. You know, if you're going down the street here paying gas as opposed to just a couple miles down the road, it's going to be like $5 a gallon right now. You know. And then people are looking at this outside the city. If you're in Ohio, somewhere it's like $2 a gallon. Somewhere else in the Midwest, it ain't $4 or $5. You know, you go down the street, it's probably like $4.50, $4.60 right now a gallon. It's not cheap here in California for gas. You know, you're talking about taxes in Beverly Hills. It's about standard with LA, a little over 1%. There's some other taxes you have to go along with that, but you know, it's kind of on average. It's probably a little higher, you know, a little over 1%, but kind of standard. Finally, let's talk about, just to speak on the healthcare, talk about gym membership. You know, you want to go to an Equinox around here. I don't even know if there's a, you know, I know there's an Equinox, a couple other gyms. Probably look around 200, 250 bucks a month for a gym. You know, Equinox, you know, those kind of gyms around here are standard. So probably looking around that if you want to belong to a gym around here. You know, that is the cost of living in 90210. Again, you know, you're paying big boy numbers for a big boy zip code. But you get a lot of great things. You know, you got a lot of, you know, the police instant, a lot of, you know, the cleanliness, not too many homeless running around here, as you know. So you're paying for that. You're paying for this zip code, but the great, you know, people want to get in here, people want to be here. It's a world recognized zip code. So when you get in and get enter here and you're able to enter, buying a property, you know, and going, people want, you know, 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, 10, 20 when you're selling. If you see a house that's sold, I mean, there's homes you could see 20 years ago what they paid for then and what they paid for now. It's astronomical. It's just there's always a steady increase of appreciation. So you're going to you're going to pay for those benefits, but it's going to cost you to get in. So that is the cost of living in Beverly Hills. If you'd like some more information, subscribe to my channel below. I'm Scott Goshorn with Rodeo Realty Beverly Hills. I'll see you next time.